We're not looking at the fact that what is the thing that we are looking at. I mean, the Constitution has made provision for ensuring equal representation across the land.
Do you think your party is following in that step?
Of course. See, let me say, you trying to say that if I have appointment and that, even my domestic, everything, I must ensure that I have equal representation and all those things. And what you should be concerned about... Isn't that a different
scenario? Your domestic cook is different from those who occupy public offices.
It's clearly synonymous with this. See, if he is, ask yourself, the former scenarios, where did that land us? See, this thing we're talking about, corruption and all those things. Corruption has no other name. It has both tribal and religious coloration. Igbos, Yorubas, Tiv, Hausas, and everybody. They when it is time to corruptly enrich themselves, they come together and have help with it. So if they don't discriminate that you are Igbo, you are Yoruba, you are Hausa or anything like that. When they want to corruptly enrich them, and they don't discriminate whether it's one religion or the other. But it is when we want to say it to the detriment of our collective good, we now bring in these ethno-religious divisions to confuse things. And this president is unfazed by that and is ready to move on nonetheless. Some of the things that we are saying. See, let me say something. We are in a situation where we need to change things fundamentally. If you go to your Sulaiman, if you go to your village, to your father's house, your grandfather's house, where your forebears lived, that thatched roof mud house in the village, and you are feeling that, look, this structure does not befit the modernity, the modern time, and you want to change it, what do? Do you build your structure on that decrepit foundation, or you excavate down and do a proper building? That is what this president is doing. This president knows that we cannot build on that decrepit foundation. We must fundamentally affect our nation. See, in Nigeria of today, we've seen a situation. In time past, a former defense chief cutting home over, almost $500 million every month out of your resources, our common patrimony. And we are saying that we should just gloss over all that and wish all that away.
What Nigerians
excavate.
What Nigerians are saying.
What are they saying?
I'll tell you what they're saying, because they also send messages. Is that it will seem as if your government is just about corruption alone, fighting corruption, and nothing else has moved, nothing else is working. Everything seems to be on a pause, and they say that is not governance. If this is what you're saying, it's almost like reminding them of what they already know. But they say they want to say something quite differently. There must be some kind of robust...
Thank you, Sulaiman.
This president involvement.
This president came...
across all sectors.
Thank you. This president came on a mantra of change. Change on a tripod. Corruption, security, and the economy. Change placed on a tripod. Now, if you look at security, when he was coming in, the insecurity that that was so rife in the nation at that time was the insurgency by Boko Haram. And now we can read what the defense chief there said, that they are making their final onslaught to Sambisa Forest, where hopefully some hostages will be released, and that that will be the final onslaught against, and they putting that insurgency. Before he came in, this president, 14 local governments were under the control of
security. Continues to be a challenge.
Absolutely, yes.
I'm sure that's why you're trying to contextualize it.
Now we are having a new challenge now. I mean, this Chief of Army Staff, General Tukur Buratai, said some time ago, and I'm sure many Nigerians were not paying attention to him, or did not pay attention to him. He said that this spate of carnages going on, spreading, in the name of Fulani herdsmen and stuff like that, spreading all across the land, may just well be, vestiges of this Boko Haram insurgents, going around after being dislodged from their main theater of war, going around and causing fresh mayhem and that kind of thing. I mean, so that is posing a different challenge, and that is something that you see, we must not run away from the fact that Nigeria is still at war.
All right. Three legs of the tripod. You talked about the
security, and then you're talking about corruption. You know that one has been fought frontally. Is that not correct?
Some people will say that is debatable, because some people, I think I heard someone over the weekend saying that the president is fighting corrupt persons and not corruption. But that is on the one hand. If you look at
how do you mean? You need to the person. No. Let me take you now. I need to take you up on that. You're going to explain that. Now I'm telling you, you're not going to just make that a sweeping statement. I insist. You must explain what you mean by that, and the person who told you that must be able to tell us exactly what he meant. And you are literally volunteering the person's opinion. Now let's hear you. What did you hear the person say? Did you interview the person? And what is the person saying? Now let me hear you.
Mr. Fasakin.
No, you're not answering my question.
Just a moment. This is Sunrise Daily.
No problem.
When I come on your show, I will answer your questions. But for now, you answer my questions.
No problem.
Now, the economy, which is one area where a lot of people, I think you were trying to justify that with the delay of the budget, and you said the president will not be stampeded. But if you look at what is happening, just take a look at the front page of Business Day. Falling PMI below 50 confirms manufacturing sector's crisis. And right to that says firms laying off staff en masse. For people who are losing their jobs on a daily basis, maybe are facing job insecurity, and we're saying that the only way anything is going to get started is the budget. And this is May. We're in the month of May. One whole quarter has passed. We're in the mid-quarter of the midway in the next quarter. What do you tell those people? How do you comfort them to say that the president, is trying to do things properly or will not be stampeded? Don't you think that they will have an issue with that?
Thank you very much, Maukwe. Good question. Good question. You and I know clearly that, and that is where citizen participation in governance too comes in. The president laid his budget on the table in December. Now here we are, May. We've not seen it, near being signed off and implementation kicking in, So that should make us to understand that there is a problem there. And that is where, governance is not just about those that are, that are in the arena, according to Theodore Roosevelt, that are in the arena, the demand in the arena. But all of us together, must be able to interrogate the things that make budget to go through, such rigor that will, so affect our life like this. What is happening is that, like I said earlier, it is impeachable for any president to spend money that is not appropriated. So that is important. So this president is very meticulous and so pertinacious.
We need to wrap up. Let me ask you this before we go, because it will be it's 1 year.
Yes.
This month.
Yes.
Since the government came into power.
Yes.
The budget has not been passed. It's not been signed into law. And we know, and you know, that if it were the previous government, you would have criticized it strongly. If people are losing their jobs, people would have spoken up. Why should we accept it from this government?
Thank you. Good question. I'm very happy about your question. What I see clearly here is that, and which was deficient in the previous government, I didn't see sincerity of purpose. Why I'm saying that was that, I was here, when we have seen a government that is fighting corruption, and that is fighting it, and that is, ensuring that, even those elements within its fold, are living to the billing. But then we saw a government that was talking about fighting corruption, and we were seeing our money being taken in Ghana must go in the name of going to purchase arms, abroad. We saw a president that went to a bombing site, saw all the splattered blood, saw all the dismembered bodies and all those things, and 24 hours later was dancing, deliriously at a campaign, something. So we didn't see sincerity of purpose. But here we are seeing a president that is improving the image of Nigeria, that is going out there, outside the shores of the land, and improving and ensuring that Nigeria's image is this besmirched image is now being shot up again.
All right,
that's the difference.
All right, Mr. Rotimi Fasakin, member of the APC, thank you for coming on this morning.
Thank you.
And I wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Well, we will be back. We have another matter that we'll turn our attention to in just a moment.